Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of Bitcoin.com, Mr. Roger Kidvey.
Hello, everyone. So we've gotten to hear from all sorts of startups that are building new businesses built on top of cryptocurrency technologies, and they're doing this all over the world in just about every country. And there's so much happening around the world, and just right outside this door, there's lots of startups that are involved doing cryptocurrency-related things. But I'd like to talk a little bit about why this is so important for the world, and why all of us are so excited about digital currencies. And I'm going to start off by a quote from Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO and founder of Coinbase.com, probably the business that's brought more people to be able to use digital currencies than any other business anywhere in the world. And Brian says that digital currency may be the most effective way the world has ever seen to increase economic freedom. If this happens, the implications are profound. It could lift many countries out of poverty, improve the lives of billions of people, and accelerate the pace of innovation in the world. That's some pretty exciting stuff that he's talking about there. It can literally accelerate the pace of innovation for every single human being on the entire planet. And so let's talk about what economic freedom is. All right, economic freedom is a measure of how easy it is for members of society to participate in the economy. It has a number of factors such as how easy it is to start a business, whether property rights are enforced, free trade with people in other nations, and the regulation of labor and businesses, and the stability of the currency. Well, digital currencies give everybody, everywhere on the planet, access to all of these things. You can now start accepting payments from anyone, anywhere in the world. You can pay anyone, anywhere in the world. You can literally engage in trade with anyone, anywhere on the planet, instantly, basically for free, without having to get permission from any bank or anybody at all. And that was impossible before the existence of Bitcoin and digital currencies in general. And here's a really interesting chart where we can see a list of the countries around the world ranked by the amount of economic freedom they have. And on the left, we have countries with the most economic freedom, like Hong Kong, Singapore, New Zealand, Switzerland, Australia, Canada, on and on, all very nice places to live. And on the right, we have a list of countries with the least amount of economic freedom in the world. And we see countries like North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and a number of other places that aren't quite nearly as nice to live as the countries with more economic freedom. And here we have some really interesting photos of Hong Kong in the 1950s versus Hong Kong today. And you can see that it went from being this little sleepy, port to a world-class financial hub and a world-class city today. And we have the same time frame with pictures of Havana, Cuba, a country or a place with much, much, much less economic freedom. And you can see it didn't really change all that much between the 50s to today. And so let's talk about why economic freedom is so important. And it's because it leads to a higher per capita income, right? All of us are excited about having more money, right? More economic freedom leads to everybody having more money. It leads to a longer life expectancy, right? Nobody wants to die. We all want to live longer lives rather than shorter ones. Economic freedom helps that too. It leads to higher literacy rates, better income for the poorest 10% in society, improved environmental protection, right? Countries with more economic freedom have cleaner air and water and forests and trees and all that great stuff that we all appreciate. It leads to fewer wars and violent conflicts, and a higher self-reported happiness of citizens in countries with more economic freedom. And another very important one is less corruption and bribery in countries with more economic freedom. And here we have another very powerful chart where we can see so clearly that in countries with more economic freedom, the poorest 10% in those societies have a much higher income level than in countries with less economic freedom. And the dark green there is countries with more economic freedom, and the red is countries with less economic freedom. And you can see there's a very, very strong correlation there between economic freedom and the level of income for the poorest 10% in society. But it's not just the poorest 10% in society, it's everybody within those societies. And here we can see the income per capita, again, in countries with more economic freedom, everybody has a higher standard of living. There's more income per capita in countries with more economic freedom and less income per capita in countries with less economic freedom. And again, here's the correlation between the adult literacy rate. Countries with more economic freedom have more adults that know how to read than countries with less economic freedom. And life expectancy, again, the correlation is so clear. Countries with more economic freedom have people that live longer than countries with less economic freedom. And it's right there, plain as day in the chart. And again, unemployment rates. Everybody wants to be able to have a job and have an income. Well, countries with less economic freedom have a higher unemployment rate, and countries with more economic freedom have a lower unemployment rate. So more people have jobs in countries with more economic freedom. So in short, more economic freedom leads to more countries having more jobs for the people in those countries. Infant mortality rate, right? Nobody likes to see babies die. Well, countries with more economic freedom have more babies survive childbirth than countries with less economic freedom. And again, the correlation is so incredibly clear. Countries with less economic freedom have more babies die at childbirth than countries with more economic freedom. And again, everybody feels sad when they see really young children in the labor force. Well, it's not because of government laws that make it illegal for kids to enter the labor force that kids don't enter the labor force. It's because of more economic freedom leading to a higher standard of living with more income per capita that children in wealthier countries, because of that economic freedom, no longer have to enter the labor force. So we can see very clearly in countries with more economic freedom, fewer children have to enter the labor force than in countries with less economic freedom. And that's why you see in countries with less economic freedom, more kids in the labor force. And so it's worth pointing out that correlation doesn't prove causation. But when we see example after example after example in both theory and in practice of greater economic freedom leading to better results for the rich and poor alike, I think some very, very strong inferences can be made. And so that brings us to Bitcoin, but not just Bitcoin, digital currencies in general, because they make it easier to start a business. It makes property rights enforceable because you can't just have your account arbitrarily shut down or closed or turned off or your funds seized when you're using digital currencies. It promotes free trade because thanks to the invention of Bitcoin and digital currencies, we can now literally send and receive any amount of money with anyone, anywhere in the world, instantly, basically for free. And there's absolutely nothing that anyone, including banks or governments or corporations, there's nothing that anybody can do to stop you from sending or receiving those payments, short of turning off the entire internet in the entire country and keeping it turned off. And it enables freedom of contract. You can now make contracts with people all over the world. And one of the buzzwords that's going on a lot recently are smart contracts. All of that sort of thing is being built and happening and coming together, which is really exciting as well. And it also enables people to opt out of corrupt systems. If you look at the way things are going in your area and you don't like it or you don't approve of it or you don't like the things that's happening with the money that's in your area, start using a digital currency of your choice. It's available to everybody, everywhere on the planet. If you have access to the internet, you have access to this system that improves the lives of every single person on the planet. And so again, we have a quote here from Brian Armstrong, the founder and CEO of Coinbase. He was the CEO until very recently. Anyhow, he says, if we can create more economic freedom in the world, it will serve as a giant economic stimulus package for the world. Accelerate innovation, reduce wars, make the poorest 10% better off, overthrow corrupt governments, and raise happiness. And I had the privilege of meeting Brian Armstrong for the first time in I think it was 2011, at a barbecue in the backyard of a house in California. Before Coinbase was known by anyone about anything, it was just basically just getting started at that point. And I think maybe there were only 2 or 3 team members at that point. And I remember talking with Brian about how it was so exciting how we are going to work to bring more economic freedom to the world and literally improve the lives of every single human being on the planet thanks to this amazing technology that was kicked off with the invention of Bitcoin. And here we are 7 years later, and literally people all over the world are starting to use it in their businesses and in their personal lives. And they're starting to have more economic freedom because of the invention of Bitcoin and because of businesses like Coinbase and blockchain.info and BitPay and of course Bitcoin.com as well. We're literally bringing more economic freedom to the entire world, and it's happening right before our eyes. And it's so exciting to be a part of it. And I'm sure Brian feels just as excited about it today as he did when he first got involved. And that brings me to my point here, is that Bitcoin, and specifically Bitcoin Cash and all the digital currencies that actually work as cash, are the best tools the world has ever seen to accomplish these goals of bringing more economic freedom to the world. And that's why I got involved in Bitcoin from day one. And that's why I'm involved with Bitcoin Cash today. And that's why I'm a fan of digital currencies in general, because there's 1,001 different digital currencies out there. And we all have the option of using them in our lives now to improve not just our own lives, but the lives of every single person on the planet, because more economic freedom means more prosperity for everybody. And digital currencies are the tools we have to bring those to the world. And if you're excited about these things, I urge you to tell your friends, tell your family, get started today at bitcoin.com. When I'm done giving my presentation, if you come right outside in the hall, I'll give every single one of you, if you install a Bitcoin wallet, I'll send you $1 worth of Bitcoin Cash. And today it's just $1. But in the future, as Bitcoin Cash becomes more and more popular around the world, it could become worth as much as $1,000 someday. And it literally takes longer to download the app than it does to start using the app. So I urge all of you to go out there and tell your friends and tell your family about all these exciting things that are happening thanks to digital currencies around the world, and help them set up a wallet, give them a little bit, show them how it works, because this is literally one of the most important inventions ever in the entire history of humankind that can propel all of humankind forward in our trajectory to building a better world for everybody, rich and poor alike, regardless of what color you are, regardless of what color your passport is, regardless of where you were born or where you live today. This improves the lives of everybody. So thank you all very, very much.
Okay, I believe we still have some time. We still have a little bit more time, so maybe would you like to open for some Q&A, maybe?
Sure, we can do some questions, and I won't be offended if you take out your phones right here at this moment and open up the Play Store or the Apple App Store and search for Bitcoin Wallet. And if you install my wallet, I have a couple of assistants that agreed to help me too. We'll give all of you a little bit of Bitcoin Cash just like that. And I think this guy's eager with a question too.
Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to open an app store or?
Yep, so if you open the App Store for either Google Play on Android or the App Store on Apple and search for Bitcoin Wallet, and the Bitcoin.com wallet will probably be the very top result. And if you install that, I'll send each of you a little bit of Bitcoin Cash.
Bitcoin Wallet, okay, let me see.
And I think this gentleman here has a question too. We can answer that
sure,
while people
please.
are installing their apps.
I'd like to know from your side, isn't there any risk at all about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or blockchain? Any risk?
Sure, there's a huge risk of even getting out of bed in the morning. So life is full of risks, and it's up to us to decide what risks are worth taking and which ones aren't. But if you look at it, it's very, very clear that the risks of getting involved with digital currencies, the rewards far outweigh those risks. You can literally transact with anyone, anywhere on the planet, thanks to digital currencies. You might get hacked and you might lose your money, but that happens with traditional banks all the time. Look at the people in Greece not too long ago. They woke up one morning and suddenly all of their bank accounts were frozen, and the government decided to take a big percentage of the money that was in their bank accounts. Or look what happened to people that were living in Zimbabwe. I'm not that old of a guy, but within my lifetime, one Zimbabwe dollar was worth more than one US dollar. And so you never know what the future is going to bring. The future is full of risks, but this is an incredibly wonderful, beneficial technology for the entire world. And so the benefits far, far, far outweigh the risks. Just like if we go back a decade or two and think about the internet, it's risky using the internet. You might download a virus, or you might see something you don't want to see. You might be exposed to ideas you don't like. But look at how much the internet has improved the world. So if we had what if a bunch of politicians or regulators had gotten together and said that anybody who wants to build a web page has to get a license and get permission to build a web page? Think about how boring the internet would be today if you had to get a license to build a website. Well, the same is true of cryptocurrencies today. Imagine how much innovation would be stifled if everybody has to get permission to do every little thing with a cryptocurrency. So we want to encourage innovation on these platforms and encourage the world becoming a more colorful, interesting place.
Isn't there any chance that something would be better than Bitcoin, or would there be a winning currency, digital currency? A winning compared to the fiat currency. U.S. dollars is the leading one, or it's going to be yuan in the near future, or whatever. Isn't there a chance that only one will win, a couple will win, and 100 others will go to zero?
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance that there'll be a couple of dominant cryptocurrencies in the world, but it's very easy to convert from one to another. And just because we don't know which one is going to wind up with the biggest market share in the end doesn't mean that we shouldn't get involved today. Just like the fact that, this iPhone is a pretty good iPhone today, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the best iPhone next year. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't get involved and use our iPhones today. And so it's the same with digital currencies. I hope there will be better ones that come out tomorrow. Because if a better one comes out tomorrow, we all get to use that one too. Just like I hope that a better iPhone comes out tomorrow, because I'll get to use that one as well. So.
It's a matter of adoption and understanding as well. So any other questions? Yes, please, the gentleman in the pink shirt, please.
Hi, I congratulate, thanks for coming, and congratulations on the hard fork successfully for Bitcoin Cash. I think it was yesterday, right? So I think you did some upgrade to the box size, 32 MB, and maybe some smart contract features in the Bitcoin Cash. Would you like to share more about some of the features in the new hard fork?
Sure. So for those that are already deep into Bitcoin a little bit, there have been some internal Bitcoin politics, and so there used to only be one version of Bitcoin. And that's the one version of Bitcoin that I fell in love with back in 2011. I've been promoting the entire time. Was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It was usable as cash for anyone anywhere in the world to send and receive any amount of money with anyone, just like that. And then, believe it or not, some people got involved with Bitcoin that were openly hostile to the idea of Bitcoin being usable as cash, even though it was right there in the very title of the Bitcoin white paper. And they succeeded in making Bitcoin not usable as cash. They made it so the transactions were slow, expensive, and unreliable. And guess what? When something is slow, expensive, and unreliable, people are going to use something other than that. So then in last year, 2017, on August 1st, that one single version of Bitcoin split into two different versions of Bitcoin. There's now Bitcoin Core that retained the original ticker symbol of BTC, and there's Bitcoin Cash that uses the ticker symbol BCH. Bitcoin Cash transactions are just like they sound. They work like cash. They're fast, basically instant, very, very cheap. When I say cheap, I mean a fraction of a penny, and very reliable as well. Whereas Bitcoin Core transactions cost several dollars at the moment. In last December, they were over $50 each in fees just to make a single transaction on the Bitcoin Core network. So what happened is all these businesses that were interested in using Bitcoin as cash, well, they're all busy building on top of Bitcoin Cash at this point, including Bitcoin.com, BitPay, Coinbase, Blockchain.info. All of this is happening. And just 36 hours ago or so, yesterday, the Bitcoin Cash network upgraded from a maximum block size of 8 megabytes to 32 megabytes. And that's just the beginning, but that beginning allows the Bitcoin Cash network to do somewhere on the ballpark of 30 times as many transactions per second as the Bitcoin Core network. And that's just the beginning. We're looking to make this usable as money for the entire world, and that's the goal with Bitcoin Cash from day one, which was the original goal for Bitcoin from day one. So if you go and read the original Bitcoin white paper, it's very clearly describing Bitcoin Cash. It's not describing the current version of Bitcoin Core. So for those of you that are interested in this, I invite you to try out both. Give Bitcoin Cash a try and give Bitcoin Core a try, and it'll be very clear to you which one of those two versions of Bitcoin is more useful in your life. And it's very clear it's Bitcoin Cash, and that's why I'm promoting Bitcoin Cash. But there's 1,001 different cryptocurrencies out there. We don't know that Bitcoin Cash is going to be the winner in the end. So try out a bunch of them and see which ones you like. But I think Bitcoin Cash has the most stuff happening around it, and I'm the most optimistic about Bitcoin Cash at this point.
Quick question about scalability in terms of the evolution to new technologies, third generation. Bitcoin Cash transactions are pretty much instant, as you say, but without the fees of Bitcoin, which is incredible. So that's great for transaction speed. But my question is about scalability. There's a lot of claims that new blockchains are going to be more interoperable, scalable, versatile. What is your view on scalability for Bitcoin Cash?
So with Bitcoin Cash, and to answer your question about the other blockchains that are coming down the road, I hope ones that are even more scalable and more interesting and can do more things come into existence, because then we all get to use those too. But right now, today, with the world that we live in, Bitcoin Cash can scale on-chain for everybody on the planet to use it as money, because there's this wonderful thing called Moore's Law that means that computers get faster and cheaper and better, and storage gets bigger every single year after year. This iPhone in my pocket has 256 gigabytes of memory, right? That's incredible. That can hold the entire Bitcoin blockchain at this point right here on a cell phone. You wouldn't need to, but that's pretty incredible. And I guess when the next iPhone comes out next year, there's a pretty good chance that it'll be able to hold probably half a terabyte, maybe. We'll see. And within a couple of years, instead of an iPhone being able to hold 256 gigabytes, before we know it, it'll be holding 256 terabytes, right? More than 1,000 times as much memory as this phone has today. And so thanks to that, Bitcoin can scale on-chain for the entire world to use it as money. It's not even remotely an issue. Time is on our side, and it's just up to us to get out there and spread the word. And if you haven't used it already, or for anybody that happens to be watching this online at some point, if you go to free.bitcoin.com, we will give you all a little bit of Bitcoin Cash just like that for free on the Bitcoin Cash network, because it costs less than a penny for us to do the network fee. I received my first Bitcoin ever from a faucet. Sadly, Bitcoin faucets are impossible to do on top of Bitcoin Core today because of the intentional high fees and the network congestion, whereas on Bitcoin Cash, faucets are alive and well. So go to free.bitcoin.com, and anyone anywhere in the world can get a bit of Bitcoin Cash for free. Thank you.
Okay, we can also try that. We still have more time. Maybe one more question? Okay, from the gentleman over there. น้องครับไมค์ด้านหน้าเลยค่ะด้านหน้าค่ะฝั่งนู้นค่ะ
Hi, Roger. Hi. Could you maybe enlighten us how open source projects such as Bitcoin, cryptocurrency could bring opportunities for startups in Thailand and other countries? Like what kind of value the community-driven open source project, like you're involved, brings opportunities to startup scene, maybe?
Yeah, that's one of the most exciting things about open source projects like Bitcoin and all these digital currencies, is that they literally allow permissionless innovation. If you want to start using Bitcoin, you don't have to ask the CEO of Bitcoin for permission. You don't have to ask anybody at all for permission. It's just a software protocol based on the laws of mathematics. And so anyone, anywhere in the world can start using it just like that right now, today. There's no terms of services that you have to sign. There's no non-disclosure agreement that you have to sign. You literally just start using it right now, today. It's that easy. And so I implore all of you that are interested in this, don't just sit there thinking about it. Get out there and start building something. Get out there and start making something. Start using it, telling your friends, telling your family, start spending it, using it as money for the world, because it literally is an incredibly powerful tool to bring more economic freedom to the world, and more economic freedom brings all these wonderful benefits to the world. So it's exciting. Get involved today, and I know you're already involved, so thank you for such a great question.
Okay, thank you very much. We still have one last question? Maybe anyone would like to? Yeah, please.
Sorry, thank you for the presentation. I didn't get to see all of it, but the part I saw was very good. I think that once these currencies start to be utilized beyond a certain level, they're going to have to be regulated. And we're already seeing the start of that here in places like Thailand. And I think that'll continue on universally. But having said that, I will accept your $1. And in 10 years, we'll get together and I'll give you half of whatever I gain back. How's that?
That sounds like a deal. Do you have your wallet installed? Come on up. Don't be shy. We can do it right here.
Okay. Well, maybe we're looking at the future Ford magazine front cover. Maybe. We never know. Okay, so see how quick it is. You just pull your phones out, download the app.
Yep, just download the app. It's called the Bitcoin.com wallet. And here we go. I just hit send, and you'll see on my phone, it's a little bit slow internet for me. Don't touch anything, and you'll be there. Sent. And you just received it on his phone. And so it literally went from my phone to his phone. It didn't go through a bank. It didn't go through a company. He didn't give his name. He didn't give his email. He didn't give his tax ID number. He didn't get permission from anybody. Okay. He literally just installed an app. It's already there. Has to refresh that page. There it is. So just like that. So it works just like magic. It truly is magic internet money.
I think this deserves a round of applause, everyone. This is how quick the Bitcoin could be. Any more questions? I think we still have time for 2 more questions, please. Because it's a very rare opportunity to have you here. So please, if you have questions, หรือเป็นคนไทยก็ได้นะคะเดี๋ยวยังไงเราแปลคำถามให้ค่ะ
And if you already have the wallet installed, just come right up here and I'll start scanning people's phones and sending some money. So free money, right?
Maybe you should put it on the screen, maybe.
Here we go. So.
Okay, if you download the app for bitcoin.com, I believe the application is the yellow color with the letter B, big letter B. Okay, I should be in line too as well. เดี๋ยวขอเข้าแถวด้วยคนแล้วกันนะคะเชิญเลยนะคะ
we can actually do a really, really interesting demo too. If whoever's controlling the screen, if they have internet on that computer, if you go to tools.bitcoin.com. So I sent one here, one. Scan.
พี่คอนโทรลเราต่อเน็ตได้ไหมคะต่อได้ Okay, so where to go? Which website?
Can I ask you guys to help me? I'll pay back. We can get like 4 people going. So.
ดาวน์โหลดนะคะที่ App Store หรือ Play Store ก็ได้ค่ะ bit นะคะ bit นะคะ bit.com นะคะ
Hold on, Sydney. Is that your phone I just scanned or somebody else's? No?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what's happening? Yep, so I'll scan that. So here's how it works. There, I'm going to put in $1.
Okay.
Confirm.
And that's it.
I'm paying the fee. I'll hit slide to send, and so the fee is going to be less than a penny.
Wow.
Here, maybe I'll describe what we're doing. So here, almost that quick. My phone's slow because I'm tethering from Japan. So there we go. Sent, now he's received it. Just like that, so.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can I have more than $1?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can because you're so pretty.
Thank you so much. That's the best compliment I got today. Okay.
I sent you $50, so that should be plenty.
นะคะใครยังไม่ได้ดาวน์โหลดลองดาวน์โหลดดูก็ได้นะคะลองใช้ดูลองที่จะเปิดรับนะคะประสบการณ์ของ Bitcoin หรือว่า Cryptocurrency นะคะซึ่งตอนนี้ก็เรียกได้ว่าเป็นหนึ่งในนวัตกรรมที่ได้รับการยอมรับมากขึ้นทั่วโลกค่ะ
These 2 guys here are going to help me. So I just sent them both some Bitcoin cash that they can help redistribute as well. So here we go.
Would you like to come up on stage maybe?
Come stand next to me.
So we have more space นะคะสามารถต่อแถวจากสุภาพบุรุษ2 ท่านนี้ได้เช่นเดียวกันนะคะ You can also queue up to these 2 gentlemen here as well. Open your QR code and let them scan you.
And if you like our app, please consider giving us a review in the App Store. Or if you like free money and you thought that was worth it too. And where's your phone? Aren't you ready? Yeah,
yes.
Here we go. She's ready.
I download since you tell me. Okay, so. Okay, my internet is slow as well.
Yours is creating a wallet, so.
Okay,
who's
so
next
please.
Here? You got it?
Okay. This available on both platform, either is Android or Apple or iOS. Please come.
Sure.
Sorry. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a fruitful sessions coming at 3:30 onwards. So all day we'll be learning and listening to the experience of the expert who are very honored to come and share with us the technology and knowledge about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and blockchain. So please remember to come back at 3:30.
Wait 1 second. You're next here. So you'll hit the receive button.
Received here. Okay.
And so now I'll scan that. Now I've scanned it, and here we go. $10.
Wow. Okay, I can share with others as well.
You can, that's right. Actually, let's do that. So I just hit the send button. We'll wait 1 second for it to create the transaction and broadcast it to the Bitcoin network. Sent, received. It's already on your phone. Just
I'm
like
rich
that.
already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going home now. Sorry. ค่ะ ได้เลยค่ะ เปิดที่ Bitcoin นี่เลยค่ะ เสิร์ชปุ๊บจะมี bitcoin.com นะคะ
Right here, it's calculated.
bitcoin.com เสร็จปุ๊บเสิร์ชเลย อ๋อ ไม่ต้องค่ะโอเค จะเป็นตัว นี่ค่ะ Bitcoin Wallet นะ เด้งไปไหนแล้วเอ่ย โอเค โทษนะคะ Bitcoin Wallet นะคะ BIT หนูไปกดโดนอะไรหรือเปล่าเอ่ยเดี๋ยวนะคะ นี่เลยค่ะ นี่ค่ะ สีเหลืองตัวนี้นะคะ แล้วก็ติดตั้งได้เลยค่ะ
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you guys.
โอเค เรียบร้อยค่ะ เดี๋ยวพอเปิดตัวแอปดาวน์โหลดเรียบร้อยแล้วนะคะ ตัวแอปเนี่ยก็จะมีตรงนี้กดรับเป็นสัญลักษณ์ทางด้านมุมซ้ายด้านล่าง เดี๋ยวรอสักครู่หนึ่งค่ะ แล้วหลังจากนั้นก็สามารถมาต่อแถวมันจะขึ้นเป็น QR code สีดำๆเดี๋ยวอันนี้เดี๋ยวเชิญคุณพี่ลงทะเบียนก่อนนะคะ
Easy, right? Yeah, thank you so much.
เมื่อสักครู่นี้ขออนุญาตถือโอกาสแปลคำถามนะคะแล้วก็เซสชันที่เกิดขึ้นเมื่อสักครู่นี้ค่ะเมื่อสักครู่นี้เราก็มีคำถามหลากหลายนะคะคำถามแรกก็คือคุณคิดว่ามันปลอดภัยไหมสำหรับค่าเงินที่มีการโอนออนไลน์หรือว่าการใช้อย่างแพร่หลายออนไลน์ค่ะซึ่งแน่นอนนะคะเราพูดถึงความเสี่ยงของการใช้ currency นี้นะคะคุณโรเจอร์ก็บอกว่าความเสี่ยงนี้เนี่ยก็เหมือนกับการใช้เงินหรือว่าการไปแบงก์นั่นแหละค่ะถ้าสมมุติวันหนึ่งระบบแบงก์ล่มแน่นอนเราก็ต้องพบกับความเสี่ยงของตรงนี้หรือบางครั้งคุณอาจจะตื่นเช้ามาแล้วพบว่าบัญชีถูกอายัดก็ได้เพราะนี่ก็คือเป็นเรื่องของความผิดพลาดของ Data หรือว่าข้อมูลในระบบนั่นเองนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยคุณโรเจอร์ก็บอกว่าอยากให้ทุกท่านค่ะเปิดใจที่จะลองใช้นะคะตัว Bitcoin นี้หรือว่า Cryptocurrency นี้ค่ะและแน่นอนนะคะหลังจากเซสชันที่เป็นคีโนตนี้เราจะมีช่วงพักเบรก1ชั่วโมงนะคะหรือถึงประมาณบ่าย3นะคะประมาณ2ชั่วโมงบ่าย3ครึ่งค่ะซึ่งในเวทีใหญ่นะคะเราจะมีในส่วนของพิธีเปิดถ้าไหนสนใจก็สามารถไปร่วมพิธีเปิดกับเราได้นะคะแต่ห้องนี้ค่ะเรายังมีในส่วนของข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมนะคะแล้วก็เซสชันที่น่าสนใจเกี่ยวกับคริปโตเคอเรนซีอีกมากมายเราเริ่มต้นเวลา 15:30 นาทีตรงนะคะหวังว่าจะได้เจอทุกท่านอีกครั้งหนึ่งค่ะช่วงนี้ถ้าใครยังไม่ได้ดาวน์โหลดแอปหรือว่าดาวน์โหลดแล้วนะคะมาต่อแถวด้านหน้าได้เลยค่ะอินเทอร์เน็ตช้านิดนึง
Sure. Come.
ยินดีเลยค่ะ
Here we go. I'm sending you the payment right now. 1 second, it'll show up. 1 second. So we can watch together. So here it's calculating the fee. It'll be less than a penny. Just wait 1 second.
สแกนได้นะคะได้เลยค่ะเดี๋ยวเสร็จแล้วเปิดเลยนะคะหลังจากเปิดแอป Okay guys so just a quick wrap up for the application once you download the Bitcoin wallet the app will automatically create a wallet. So once you create a wallet, on the bottom left corner, click received. It will appear a QR code. And then you can use that QR code to receive the Bitcoin cash here. So very easy, very simple. นะคะหลังจากที่ดาวน์โหลดแอปพลิเคชันแล้วนะคะค่ะ
Sure. Who's ready next? You have it. So Bitcoin wallet is what you're gonna look for.
So how do I share? So I just click
So
scan.
hit the send button or
Send.
Yeah,
Okay.
Either one, and then you'll hit the say OK.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll top you up.
I'll search.
Hit the scan button.
Okay.
I already scanned
Okay.
yours. I already scanned yours.
I can scan yours. ส่งได้ค่ะ Okay, I can scan yours.
And
Okay,
one,
and
one,
then-
one per person, one per customer, please. So hit $1. Yeah.
And then next or change.
Yeah. Next.
Okay.
Who's ready? Ready? Okay.
So it's just like Chinese or Christmas Day now.
That's
Because
right.
everybody's just receiving a present.
Did you get that working or?
Okay. ค่ะ it's sending.
It was saying, what was the error message?